The way that business ownership can complicate divorce is that business ownership is relevant to a couple of key issues in divorce. Number one, support. You have to figure out what the true income is of the individual owning the business. And this is not as straightforward as it may seem. You have some people overpaying themselves, some people underpaying themselves. And so it's important to figure out, for purposes of support, what the true income of that individual is and what it should be. The other part of a business divorce that can be complicated is figuring out what that means, the fact that there is a business in the divorce, what that means for asset division. Because the income generated by the business owner is relevant for purposes of support, and then the actual value of the business is relevant in determining how the assets are going to be divided. And so typically what that means is getting an expert involved in crunching the numbers and figuring out what the true value is of that business to then determine whether a buyout is an option and the person who mainly runs the business can keep the business and buy the other out, or if the business has to be sold. The way that we value a business for purposes of sizing up a divorce and property division and to make progress on resolving the issue is, in most cases, you have to get a business expert involved, somebody who can go in, crunch the numbers, and do a full appraisal on the actual value of the business. This is a really important step, and you want to make sure you do it the right way. There are a number of different factors that are in play. It depends on the type of business that you're running, but the bottom line is you want an expert to go in, take a look at the value of the assets in the business, take a look at the older numbers for the business, the more recent numbers, and it often involves a projection of income going forward. So it can be really complex, and you want to bring on someone who knows what they're doing, who is reliable, so that you can have solid numbers that can help you make the best decision for you and your family. A prenup can help protect business assets in that you can, when having a prenup drafted, you can include a business in the prenup and business assets. And so if you identify that early on as something you want to protect and you have a properly and professionally drafted prenup, what it can do is it can protect your business interests. So as you move forward with divorce, that can be an asset that is essentially excluded from the marital pot. The way that business debt is handled in divorce is that, first of all, it's important to determine who will be responsible for the business debt. So the best way to think about it is that if the business itself and the value of the business is going to be part of divorce, then so are the liabilities. So you're looking at it as a package. In shorter marriages, then in many cases, the business is not included in divorce, or it's only a small factor. And in those cases, you typically see the business owner just walking away with his or her liabilities. But again, if the asset is going to play a major role in the division of property, then so is the liability, and it's essentially viewed as and handled as a joint liability. If you have a business, if your spouse has a business, if you have any questions at all about businesses and how they're handled in divorce, call us at Farias Family Law. We'll schedule a comprehensive assessment where we can talk about your goals and what the best next steps are to protect your interests.